I love talking about my different fandoms and favorite video games and movies and TV shows as much as the next person, but there are things happening right now in our country that need to be talked about. It's political, it's not good news. It's things that are uncomfortable to talk about, but that need to be talked about and need to be brought attention to. People need to know and stay informed of what is going on. Below in my video description, there is an ever-growing list of people, social media accounts, organizations, and websites that are standing up to the hatred and violence we are seeing by our quote-unquote President Trump. Check out any of the links and social media accounts that I have at the bottom of my description to stay informed and to find out how you can help fight back. Just like Captain America said that it doesn't matter what the mobs or the politicians tells you. It doesn't matter if so many of them is saying something wrong is something right. And if they come to you saying that, telling you to move, it is your job to stand there and plant yourself beside the river of truth and say, no, you move. Hatred and ignorance and fear is not what makes our country great. So it is a new year, so welcome to the new year 2020. Big things going on with 2020, lots of getting back into the roaring 20s, which kind of makes me wish we could visit other past decades. I would love to revisit the 1990s and get back into the grunge subculture, but I doubt I'm going to be living in 2090, but weirder things have happened. So, we'll see in 70 years if I'm still around to see the grunge reemergence with that. Or maybe we could just jump into the grunge stage now and just get it over with. That's not really what this video is about, aside from it being a new year. So new year, 2020, January 2020, we're in a new year, a new decade, and everyone is making, of course, their resolutions, and I am no different. So I, of course, have the usual standard resolution that everyone tries to go through is I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to be healthier, make healthier choices. I'm going to, make more of a strong commitment to going to the gym and working out. And I'm also trying to understand and convince myself that over the past 9 months to a year since I've been going to the gym, I've made a lot of progress. That's really hard for me to admit and hard to recognize within myself because I'm very self-deprecating, and that's something I'm working on. But I have to admit that I have made progress. I'm now down from 300 pounds to 275 pounds, so that's 25 pounds in the last year, which is great. And it also means that when I tell people I weigh 275, I'm not lying, because that's usually what I would do. But the other big resolution that I've made is to be more organized. I feel essentially I have 4 different jobs that I'm kind of juggling around between making online content and YouTube, going to grad school. I'm in my 3rd semester of grad school, so my 2nd year, and I'll be done within a year, ideally, of grad school. I'm also working a part-time job as a social media manager, and then I'm also writing for a newspaper, writing and editing for the UNO College newspaper, Driftwood. You can check them out. I have links to them wherever my articles and other writers of the Driftwood articles would be. I have that down in the description if you ever want to check those out. But I'm juggling 4 different jobs on top of my own personal life and things that I want to do, on top of the gym, on top of my own mental health stuff that I'm trying to make sure I stay on top of. And then I'm kind of getting overwhelmed. And I'm already pre-exhausted just because of that. So my really big New Year's resolution for this year is to get more organized. And essentially to do that, I'm basically keeping 3 different kinds of journals that I'm writing in daily. Either at the beginning of the day, I'll write it, and start writing about it, or I'll do it at the end of the day, or I'll do it if I do it the next morning, whenever. I'm trying to make sure I'm at least once a day, going in my journals, making sure I'm updating things. So I'm basically using 3 different journals. Yes, I've tried journaling just on my phone, and I don't really keep up with it. I just kind of lose, not even interest. I just stop doing it at some point. I've tried bullet journaling, which I think is a great thing, and it's definitely good for just kind of a creative outlet to be just I'm going to get organized in my way, and it's going to be creative, and I'm going to jump right into it and do whatever, which I did bullet journaling for a little while, and I don't know, I needed a little bit more guidance with it because a bullet journal is essentially make your journal and go. Like that's it. With very few like things that you have to do to make it a bullet journal. So it didn't really work for me. But I'm really committing myself to journal this year at the very least and just stay organized. And by doing that, I'm essentially keeping 3 different journals. Now, one of them is basically just a calendar. It's a 2019-2020 calendar that I'm essentially just writing down dates in. I've also decked it out in Red Dead Redemption stickers because I had a crap ton of those. Like there's one of my favorite, Rude Dude Redemption 2. Oh, it even has the little slime canister. I didn't notice that before. And then Red Ranger Redemption. So yeah, it has a lot of really cool Red Dead Redemption stickers. Didn't come with it. I just had a bunch of stickers and put them there. Also put them inside, but it's essentially just a calendar. So I write down dates, mark off days, whenever my schedule is, whatever I have to do, make sure that I'm writing it down and keeping on top of it and making sure I am actually doing what I need to be doing and remembering what I need to remember, because I'm really bad about that, especially if it's like, oh yeah, I'll remember to do that thing in 2 weeks, and then I'm probably not going to remember it until literally the last minute. So that's my first kind of journal calendar that I'm keeping up with. My second is really just more of, it's not even really a journal, it's really just blank pages for me to take notes in if I have an idea, or if I need to remind myself to write something into the calendar later, or just something to remind myself in general, or really just to kind of look back and see what did I do today. It's not any kind of special journal. It's literally just blank pages, but so the actual journal itself, the cover anyway, it's one of those like really nice mole skin journals, and the front of it is the Fellowship at the gates of Moria, or the west gate of Moria at nightfall on 13th January 3019. The company reaches west gate of Moria at nightfall, so essentially the moon door, which I'm actually, obviously I have a lot of the runes on my arm for my name and my dad's name. I'm gonna get my mom and my brother's names on there as well. Oh, did I show you my new tattoos? I got a Mandalorian tattoo and I got a Baby Yoda tattoo. Anyway, so in this one, I'm essentially just writing down things that I need to remember, or things that I need to do, or what I have done. So if I need to, like, okay, what did I do, or like what did I do yesterday, I can go back, look back, and I see all the things I did. So Saturday I didn't really do much, I just hang out with friends, but like Friday I did stuff at work and I looked for ideas for some new stuff at work. I also added some things to my work's website. Today, I wrote down things that I needed to remember to do, like YouTube video, New Year's resolution on organizing, calendar, notes, and the journal that I'm going to be talking about in just a minute. Essentially, because a lot of times this is just for me to remember. It is really literally just for me to write down things that come to me at the moment's notice that I just need to make sure I write down and remember, or to remember what I did yesterday. Really just a basic journal that is really just short bullet points. So this would probably be closer to a bullet journal than the last journal I'm going to be talking about, which I feel is very similar to a bullet journal, but a little more in depth and a little bit more guided. So what this is, and I had some friends ask about this earlier, so I'm letting you know now, this is the Hero's Journal. What it is essentially the group that decided to make this essentially turn your daily tasks and all the things that need to do and your schedule into a kind of quest. So you have like your ultimate quest, and then you go through day to day, marking what you did that day, how the things you did that day kind of go towards your ultimate quest or your ultimate questing goal. And I feel it's a lot like a video bullet journal, just because of the creativity that goes into it. It's essentially giving you your own fantasy quest. It follows like the hero's journey. They even have like a breakdown of the hero's journey here in, where is it? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Okay, yeah, so they actually have like the kind of the cycle of the hero's journal right here, and it goes like call to adventure, refusal of the call, allies, enemies, and mentors, accepting the call, initiation, the road of trials, approaching the cave, the ordeal, resurrection and reward, and return to a new life. So essentially, the hero's journal, that's so many, if not all, fantasy or even sci-fi, just good stories. A lot of them follow that hero's journal cycle. What this book basically takes those tasks that you have to do, like, doing laundry, and kind of turns it into what you're trying to do to complete your ultimate quest. So I'm going to show you today's pages. So you essentially just write the day, and I haven't finished filling it out yet just because it's not the end of the day, but I did write some for today. So one of the things is they have kind of like those daily affirmations where you have to say what you're grateful for. So today I'm grateful for my Nintendo Switch, which I've been playing a lot more lately, a paycheck, which is always good, and Doctor Who. I've been kind of going through a rewatch of Doctor Who as well as keeping up with the new season. Today's allies, the Doctor, of course, he's always everyday ally. Whole Foods, which is where I usually do my grocery shopping for my healthy stuff, and then GameStop because I need to go get something in GameStop. And then to seize the day, make YouTube video, laundry, and prepare for the semester. And then I just kind of wrote a little note. Hi YouTube, and then at the bottom was like, what are today's threats? And today's threats were, of course, rain, traffic, which is always a pain, and dumb people in parking lots who like to walk behind cars that are backing out. So it is a very like creatively focused way to, and a fun way to kind of like take your daily journaling tedium and make it a little more fun. The biggest issue I'm finding right now is I don't know what my actual like ultimate quest is. Like, there's a couple things it could be. It could be finishing grad school. It could be any number of things that would be my ultimate quest, but like I'm not really sure what exactly it's going to be. So I'm still working on what my ultimate quest is. So maybe that's my quest. Figure out what my ultimate quest is. But right now I'm not really sure. And it's not even one of the downsides, just one of the other things to keep in mind when you're looking at this. I know talking about it, like, oh, it takes your daily schedule and makes it into like this little fantasy adventure. Like, yes, it sounds kind of corny. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds really corny. And honestly, the drawings that they have in the book are very good, but they're also very like kid. Like, this looks like something you would see in like Arthur or some other like kids cartoon show, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely like it's very, very G-rated. There's no like, cutting the head off a dragon picture in here anywhere. At least there hasn't been so far. But it is just a really cool little creative journey. So if you are interested in this, I'm not being paid to talk about this or anything like that. And I want to give credit to the Heroes Journal and those who decided to make this. The website, if you want to look it up, is just the Heroes Journal, HEROS, heroesjournal.co or .com, not 100%. And it was created by Nick Vitellero and Kyle Cole and Ryan McConnell. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. It was like maybe 20 or 30 bucks. I ordered it online. So far, it's been fun. It puts a lot of things in perspective. It is a little corny and it's a little like, kid show-esque, but it's very creative and it's fun. It's a fun little, fill out your daily adventure kind of book. So that's essentially what I'm doing to make sure that I keep up with my New Year's resolution of just being more organized and being a little more present in the things that I need to take care of, both in the present and in the future, to make sure I write them down, remember to do them. So hopefully that's going to help me change from not being as organized as I've ever been, because I've definitely always been someone where someone will tell me to do something and I'll say, yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll forget to do it. I fully admit that as a flaw of mine. I'm terrible at that. I fully recognize that as one of my flaws. So hopefully I can, make sure I do actually stay on top of things, that I do actually continue to work for this resolution, as well as my other resolutions, such as, committing to being healthy and going to the gym. So that's my 2020 New Year's resolution vlog. If you want to talk about any of your resolutions, or even if you want to ask about the Hero's Journal or any of the other resolutions I'm talking about, like if you have questions about going to a gym or getting healthy, I'm not an expert, but I've been, definitely making sure I stay as active and on top of working out and getting healthier for the last year. So I definitely can talk to you about it, a little bit of what I've done and what's helped me and what hasn't helped. So if you want to talk about any of your resolutions, if you want to talk about the Hero's Journal, if you want to talk about anything at all, let me know. Leave it in the comments or on any of my social media. If you want to see any of my other content, you can go to treyguillotine.com. If you want to read any of my articles for the UNO Driftwood, you can check out unodriftwood.edu, and you can subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching. Have fun.